Guys, let's move on to the Wizards. And LeVar, reports are that Nene is back to practicing with the team. Not quite doing everything with the team and running at full speed, but he's close. My question to you is, should Nene return to action before the playoffs, and if so, why?
If he's ready, yes. If he's physically ready to return, he should return. For one, he's a leader on the team. Two, it's your job. Three, I think that to get him back in game condition, practice condition is much different than game condition. So I don't think that you want to try to ease him back into a series that is in the playoffs if you can stand it. I think you want to give him an opportunity to get his game legs back. He's been out for an extended amount of time. So if he's able physically to get back out there health-wise, I think you get him in.
Mike, Wizards are 12-9 since he's been out with the injury. Would you agree with LeVar?
I not only agree, I think it's paramount that he comes back. I don't think they win. I don't think they have a shot to win the playoff series if he goes into that. And they're finding 2 games in how to play together again. Nene isn't one of those guys who goes in and tips back misses or hits a couple baseline followaways. He's almost like a point center on the floor, and it changes the flow, it changes the way they play, and those guys need to learn to play together again before the playoffs, not during them. If they do it during them, they'll be swept or they'll lose in 5 games.
Dan, do you agree?
I agree, and I'm going to add another issue, which is sort of like the confidence factor. I think if they go in and he hasn't played at all and they don't know what they're getting out of him, how many minutes, whether he's going to be able to play, I sort of think that they need to believe that this recent stumble is not the way that they're going to go into the playoffs, that they are that team that we saw for 2/3 of the season. And I think that they can't really be that team without Nene. So I think that just for that confidence factor, they need to know that he's going to be part of that playoff rotation.
Now they're 5-5 in their last 10. Big game against Charlotte Wednesday night, which is basically for the 6th seed. It's
monstrous game.
It's a playoff game, even though they've already made the playoffs.
Actually, I want to ask, why is the Pacers question? Because we talked about it last week, but you weren't here. Some people are now thinking with Indiana stumbling the way they are, it maybe would be better for the Wizards to fall to 7th and play them. Do you buy that at all, or do you think they're going to ride it?
No, I just think I don't think they're going to ride it as in beat Miami for the East. I still like the Heat coming out still, but I do think that the Pacers are going to have enough to get past a first-round series, even in their stumbling, bumbling ways.
But do you think the Wizards match up about as tough against the Pacers as anybody?
Yeah, you're right, but I know that Toronto's killed them. The fact that Toronto has no playoff experience on that roster almost. And Tom Thibodeau, got that Bulls team, a worse Bulls team, to win a 7th game in Brooklyn last year. If I had my druthers, I would take Toronto. And that's not just because I want me and Steinberg and Eaton Center on the company dime,
I don't travel anymore, man.
Hanging out with. Do you even have a passport?
I do, but I don't travel. But I appreciate that.
All right, VAR,
it's not in his contract.
No. Okay.
He doesn't have to.
Wait,
travel.
are you traveling? You're traveling with the team for the playoffs?
I believe so.
Do you think Toronto's a better trip than Brooklyn?
Yes. Yeah. I like Toronto better than Brooklyn. Yeah, it's a little cleaner.
Better than Indiana
Brooklyn
too, right? Better than Indiana for sure.
Indiana's definitely the 4th seed.
I like
Indiana.
junior.
So going back to the original, we only have a few seconds left in this segment here, guys. But so you guys are not worried at all about the prospect of Nene coming back too soon and then re-injuring himself during the regular season when they've already clinched the playoff.
Coming back too soon is coming back and not being ready to play.
Okay.
To me, that's coming back too soon. If he's ready to play, if he's cleared to play, then he should play. He should, especially if it's still regular season, because he wants to knock that rust off.
So it's not one of those. If they have the 6th seed and it looks secure, you still bring him back to get knocked the rust off.
This isn't a first seed team. This isn't a team that is
I'm just double checking.
So dominant that you could just rest him.
If Nene gets hurt in a game in which he just came back, he shouldn't have been on the court in the first place.
Or he was going to get hurt in that playoff game.
Then you have the argument to have held him to the playoffs. All right, Dan, you have a final thought?
No, we all agree.
No, I'm trying to fabricate something here. You guys all agree.
You want some fire? We'll get into it.